Welcome to my channel. I'm Dani and I'm really excited for today's video because it is a collaboration with two of my YouTube friends, Mary from Lumi Level Up and Dawn from Dawn Loves Couture. Hi guys, thanks so much for inviting me to collaborate on this video. Now the topic of the collaboration is when would I not wear a designer handbag? Now if you follow my channel you know that this topic is right up my alley, although I love luxury designer handbags. I actually find it quite difficult to incorporate them into my life. So what are these occasions when I will not wear a designer handbag, or at least try to avoid it as best as I can? Let's jump straight into it. And occasion number one is kids' birthday parties. Oh, I once learned about a mom who was carrying her Hermes Kelly 25 gold with gold hardware at a kid's birthday party, and there was a child running rogue around the party with birthday cake in their hand. And he ran into her Hermes Kelly. When I heard it, I almost passed out. In any case, this mom cleaned off the cake as soon as possible. Unfortunately, there is a little bit of an oil residue left on it. As far as I'm aware, she hasn't had the opportunity to take it back to Hermes for a spa yet. But oh my gosh, how heartbreaking would that be if that happened to my Hermes bags? So usually when I go to a kid's birthday party, I'm quite mindful about which bag I bring. I usually bring a contemporary brand or a more affordable bag. And I have mentioned before that one of my favorite bags to take to a kids occasion or a kids event is my Moschino bum bag. Oh, I absolutely love that bag. It is really lightweight, and since it is made of nylon, it is slightly water resistant. And because I wear it crossbody in front of my trunk, it is very close to my body, so the chances of it being wrecked by someone who is around my waist height is a lot less. More recently though, I did carry a designer bag to my daughter's friend's birthday party, and it was my Fendi Pequin Boston bag. I did think about it very carefully, and I thought, well, if cake gets on this, I'm pretty sure I can wipe it straight off. And lo and behold, this happened to my bag. Yes, and the culprit was my daughter. She got some cake cream on my bag. Fortunately, I was able to wipe it off without any residue whatsoever. Thank goodness the canvas survived. And the cream was actually on the bag for about 5 to 10 minutes. What happened was I actually noticed that there was some pink cream on my daughter's friend's hair. And I proceeded to clean my daughter's friend's hair. And I looked around and there was cream on the chair and there was cream in my daughter's hair. And when I finished cleaning them both up, only did I think to look down to check my bag, and that's when I saw the stain. So it was probably sitting there for 5 to 10 minutes before I got to it. So now my Fendi Boston bag, I know it's passed the test now. It's going to be my official kids' birthday events bag. Woohoo! The next occasion where I will try to avoid wearing a luxury designer bag is when I know I'm going to have a full day out with my daughter. When this happens, I know there's a good chance that we'll go to a beach or a playground. And I've mentioned this incident before where one of my non-luxury scarves got bitten by a puppy, and this puppy put a hole in my scarf. Thank goodness it was not the most expensive scarf, although it was a scarf that I still really loved. While I'm at a playground, the chances of me having to participate in some sort of rough activity like running, crawling, sometimes I have to climb up a climbing frame in order to rescue my daughter. So when I do these activities, I find it really difficult to actually look after another baby, i.e. a luxury designer bag. And I also get pooped on by birds quite a lot. And if I'm at the beach, the chances of being pooped on by a seagull, yeah, that's just there. And I'm sure if I was carrying a designer handbag, that's when I would get pooped on. By the way, if you're a mom and you're interested in what kinds of bags I use when I'm out with my daughter, I have made a whole video on the best mom bags. So if you're interested in that, I've linked it in the description box below. The other place I would not carry a designer bag to is work. Now, in my workplace, it's culture to not wear lots of designer. Like, if someone wears a designer bag, the designer bag will get a little bit of attention. And you know, from my point of view, if someone else wants to wear a designer bag, by all means, I don't necessarily want to draw that kind of attention to myself. So I'm usually happy to wear a contemporary bag, like Coach is very appropriate. I also find my workplace to not be that clean, therefore I don't always have a spot to put down a designer bag on. I find my workplace to also not be that secure. There are reports of thefts of wallet or sometimes even food. I don't really want to risk having a designer bag lying around. You know, my workplace offers lockers, but you don't have a designated locker. Every time you go to work, you have to go and look for a locker, and sometimes there's not a locker. And there are times when I've had to leave my handbag in the boot of my car, which is parked outdoors, and it's been in 36-degree heat before, which means it could get, you know, up to 45 degrees Celsius inside the car, and my bags are sitting inside the car. They feel really hot when I get back to the car, and I really don't want to subject any of my luxury designer bags to that. I also tend to be in a big hurry when I'm at work, and therefore I tend to bump my bags everywhere, so it's going to be very prone to wear and tear. Recently, I've also been thinking about changing out my big work tote. It's starting to get really worn. I've worn it for over 3 years now, and the glazing on the handles have started to peel. So I was thinking of, okay, what bag shall I replace it with? You know, I did dream about wearing a luxury designer bag, and I was thinking, oh, maybe I could get a Neverfull. It's meant to be very durable, blah, 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 or for it apart canvas tote or something like that. Then I just made the effort to observe what I had to do with that big work tote of mine. And sometimes when I go to the toilet and there's no hook behind the door, I've had to put this tote down on the toilet floor. And I'm like, yeah, no, let me just get something from Amazon. In terms of social occasions, now I'm also very thoughtful about when I would carry a designer handbag. I have all sorts of company. I have people who really enjoy designer bags, and I also know people who don't appreciate designer bags at all, or they might appreciate what they are, but they don't necessarily indulge in designer handbags. So it really depends on who I'm going to catch up with. And the thing is, when I'm going for a social event, my intention is to enjoy myself and to actually connect with the people, the company that's there. And if I think that there's a chance that my designer handbag may draw unwanted attention or conversation, or if I'm worried that my designer bag might make someone feel bad, then, you know, forget about it. Like, would I wear a designer bag going out with my immediate family? Yes, no problem. Would I wear a designer bag for a social event with my extended family? No. I don't think that's needed. Would I wear a designer bag going out with my in-laws family? Yeah, no. I just want to be the low-profile daughter-in-law. I do have a few friends who really love designer bags, and you know, they're probably watching this video. Hi guys. And yes, with these friends, sometimes if we are at each other's houses, I would expect them to open up their closet and to show me their bags. If I was going to a class reunion, I would say that I could anticipate at least 5 or 6 designer handbags or more. Yeah, in that situation, I would be comfortable carrying my designer bag. I wouldn't necessarily carry my Hermes bags, but I would be okay carrying Chanel or Louis Vuitton. And last but not least, I mean, perhaps now in general is not a good time to wear luxury designer handbags, and that's because economic times are tough at the moment. Inflation is going absolutely crazy. The cost of basic living has really gone up, and there are people who can't even afford to pay for very basic needs. And there's a trend on social media indicating that perhaps it's a little bit insensitive for us to be wearing really loud designer handbags or displaying our wealth. So from Anthropology did a really good video on this in my opinion, and I'll leave it in the description box below. I've also heard that in some places in the States, theft has gone up a lot as well. Say for example, someone's walking out of a luxury designer store with handbags in tow. They get followed home and then robbed. So it seems that not only is it sensitive for us to not be wearing designer handbags, it is in fact also important for our own well-being and our own security. The other issue is the crazy price increases together with the lack of quality. Chanel. Say for example, the Chanel Classic Flap. The price of it is so insane at the moment that if you're spotted wearing one, it can seem like you're flexing a little bit, although you may have purchased the bag for a much lower price 10 years ago or something like that. Lucky you if you did. Wearing a Chanel Classic Flat may seem like too much of a flex. Due to the quality issues as well as the poor after-sale service, some people seem to want to dissociate from certain brands and would prefer to turn towards quiet luxury where they're not flashing a brand name in everyone's faces. And something else I've mentioned on my channel before is Tanner Leatherstein. I love that channel. I think it is so awesome. And his following has increased as well. So more and more people are becoming educated about high quality leather, artisan craftsmanship. I've been doing that too. So I've been looking at more contemporary brands. I'm looking at bags from smaller businesses like Etsy, and some of these experiences have really blown me away. And it's not that I'm not buying luxury anymore. I'm going by the pre-loved route. If that's the case, I'm really curious to know. Please leave me a comment. Are any of you exploring Etsy, craftsman, leather goods? And also let me know your opinion about the quiet luxury trend that's going on. Like, if you want to wear luxury, you tend to go for something with less logo. Do you feel like your security is threatened when you wear a big luxury logo? And after this, don't forget to go ahead and check out Mary's and Dawn's videos. I've linked them in the description box below.